Y'all, my mind was completely blown when I found out what I'm about to tell you. So check this out. Depending on your state. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I am going to talk to you today about winter prep essentials for your car. So let's get right into it. One of the first tips is to make sure that you keep at least a half a tank of fuel in your car. And this just helps just in case you have to suddenly evacuate. You can avoid the long lines at the gas station. You can just go ahead and hit the road if you have to, because we know that when things happen, whether it's an evacuation or a storm, people are always running to the gas station. There are long lines around the gas station. There are gas stations that are running out. And you don't want to have to deal with that if you can at all avoid it, or even if you can go ahead and get in your car because you do have a certain amount of fuel. At least that can tide you over until you get a couple of towns over, especially depending on the situation. You definitely want to avoid chaos and just lines and all that. You also want to make sure that your tires are in good working order. If you have a spare or a donut, I would advise trying to get that fixed as quick as possible. I do want to just say spares are just to get you like to and from a place. They're not intended to be driven on for weeks and weeks. Make sure you can get to a shop, replace the tire, plug the tire, whatever you need to do. That way that tire can go back in your trunk for future use. And make sure to check to see if your car comes with a tire. I know depending on the car, they don't always come with spare tires anymore, which I think is insane. Make sure that you're checking your cars and making sure that the fluids are all good to go. Make sure that you know certain areas of your car. You're going to want to make sure that you have windshield wiper fluid and make sure that it does have some kind of antifreeze solution in there. That way your water and stuff doesn't freeze when you go to use it, especially if you're in a snowstorm or any kind of weather like that can affect that, and you don't want to have an issue when you're driving down the street. Also, make sure that your windshield wiper blades are in good working order. You can replace them, and they're typically not that much. You can go to Advanced Auto or AutoZone or O'Reilly's, whatever you have in your area. You want to make sure that these blades are functioning and working properly and that they're not streaking the window, because you don't want it to hinder or affect your visibility in any way. The next item on your list is one that we all should be keeping in our cars. Number 5 on the list is jumper cables. Make sure you always keep a pair of jumper cables in your car and make sure that you know how to use them and use them correctly. Number 6 is going to be your cell phone charger. Make sure you have a spare that you keep in your car at all times. This is one that I keep in my car. I don't take it back and forth. I have one for the house. I have one for the car. I feel like that's super important. Whatever you do, please do not rely on the wireless charger that you may have under your car. Mine does not always work. I don't know what the deal is with it, but mine will keep my phone on and charge just enough, but it doesn't charge it very well. I don't know. My car is like relatively new, but it doesn't work what I feel like is properly, or maybe my expectations were a little bit too high. So again, make sure you have your actual cord that you can use and do not rely solely on your car's wireless charging pad. Number 7 is to make sure that you have a good amount of water, food, non-perishable foods. Make sure you have a good protein source. There are bars that you can buy that last, they have like a 5-year shelf life. I have some of those in my car. They're like $4 or $5 at Walmart. So make sure that you have those things that you're keeping in your car. Make sure that you have food specifically for people that may be with you that have any kind of sensitivities or allergies. If you have kids, get kid-friendly snacks and things like that to keep in the car. That also goes along with saying that you need to make sure that you have pet foods, especially if you're evacuating. Make sure that you have pet foods and their treats and things that they like in the car as well. If you're able to get emergency flares, I would highly recommend getting them. I just dropped my notebook. Or if you want to grab like reflector lights, the ones that you typically see on a bicycle, that can help you. That helps with visibility. If you're waiting for somebody to get there to you, it helps make sure that you're being safe and that other passerbyers and other people on the roads can see you as well as first responders. Also, make sure that you have a first aid kit. That can be one that you already buy. I know they're running, I think, about $11 or $12 pre-made at Walmart. You can always go to Dollar Tree and get a few things. You're going to want to make sure you have bandages and tourniquets, just any kind of wraps or anything that you think would be beneficial in a situation. You may need these things to tide you over until help can come, and just you just don't want to be on the road stranded out of luck with no kind of supplies, no kind of survival tools. Make sure that you're keeping warm clothing in the car. Make sure that you've got, the long pants, long sleeve shirts. You want to make sure that you have beanies, gloves, and things like that to make sure that you are keeping yourself warm. if you're stranded or if anything happens, once you turn off your car, if your car engine dies or anything like that, it doesn't take that long for the inside of the car to drop in temp, especially if you're in any kind of snowstorm or any kind of a blizzard, and you don't want to have to worry about frostbite. So make sure that you have those items. Also make sure that you have something called hot hands. I do have some of those, and you can just slip those in your gloves and your boots. They have some for your shoes and everything. Make sure you check into those. They can also be found at Dollar Tree sometimes, but I pick mine up from Walmart. Make sure that you have like an ice scraper and like a small shovel. That way you can dig your way out if you need to, especially if you're stuck in snow. They also make small collapsible shovels that may be helpful for you. Moving along to number 12, we are going to talk about ice melt or rock salt. This can help you in the event that you're stuck as well. It can help provide traction to help get you out of that stuck area. Of course, this is going to be used on snow and ice. Heading into number 13, this is one that I feel like would be beneficial to so many people, and it's never one that I really quite thought about here till recently. Sunglasses. If you are dealing with like the winter sun, it's definitely different than the summer sun, and I know so many people are used to using sunglasses during the summer, but if you have a reflection from snow or ice, basically snow, that sun can reflect on the ice, making it super bright, which can definitely affect your eyes, especially if you are out in the elements and you have to dig or do anything like that. Sun sensitivity is a real thing with people with lighter color eyes. Typically, my eyes are brown, but I do have sometimes, like even during the summer, where the sunlight hits my eyes and it does make my eyes hurt. In general, it's just a good idea to keep glasses just because they offer so much protection, you know, from the UV rays. But I will say, if you have somebody that has lighter color eyes or any kind of sun sensitivity to light, make sure that you have those glasses, just because the reflection, like I said, the reflection from the sun on the snow can cause a bigger issue. I do have a couple of kids that do have issues with sun sensitivity and the lighting on their eyes. So we, especially one of my younger kids, so we are definitely making sure we just wear sunglasses in general, you know, during the summer and everything like that. I'm being more proactive. Y'all, my mind was completely blown when I found out what I'm about to tell you. So check this out. Depending on your state, I'm here in North Carolina. We have roadside assistance offered through Geico. I think it varies by state. I think some states have Geico, some states have State Farm, but there is free roadside assistance when you're in North Carolina. And a lot of people pay extra for like AAA and things like that, have roadside assistance through their insurance agency, you know, towing and things like that. But check into it. If you go to North Carolina DOT, you will see on there where they offer roadside assistance. They can help with the tire. They can bring you fuel if you're on the road, and they can help jump your car. So make sure you're utilizing those services. I do believe that as a taxpayer type thing that is out there and people just don't know about it. So spread the message on this too. If you knew about it, make sure to drop down in the comments below that you were aware. If you didn't know about this, so let me know that you didn't. Just go to your state's DOT site. Like I said, I went to NC DOT and did some digging myself. And also don't solely rely on them, because in a situation where there's like hazardous roads or kind of you know, evacuations or something like that, I don't know how much access or how quickly they'll be able to get to you, but it is a good everyday service to know about. You guys, drop me a comment down below, please, if you don't mind. Just give this video a thumbs up. That way it shows YouTube that you guys are interested in my content. It would be greatly appreciated, you guys. I want to bring you more content like this and just helpful information, preparedness tips that are relatable. You know, I'm just a mom. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I do hope that this video was very useful for you guys. You guys take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video.